When you get overwhelmed, your brain goes into fight or flight mode. That's because it's trying to protect you from danger. Now that's excellent if you're running away from a lion that's going to eat you, but it's not excellent if you are, for example, going on a date or maybe going for a job interview. So what tends to happen when we get overwhelmed and we get a bit nervous is your brain wants to go to the worst case scenario. But that's not necessarily going to be very helpful for you in either of these situations or any other situation that you're faced with. So today, I just want to share with you my 3 tips on how to go from being completely overwhelmed in a situation like a job interview. Maybe you're going in to ask for a raise. Maybe you're going on a date. Maybe you're going to have a presentation. And to take you away from being overwhelmed to being successful and in charge. Because we all know that if you have certainty, you will always win in the end. Because the person with the most certainty always wins, right? But if your brain is full with overwhelm and you think, okay, I'm going to stop thinking about being nervous, your brain doesn't know what to do with itself, because you can never take thoughts out of your brain, because then there's a vacant space. Let's imagine there's a vacant space in your brain, and your brain always needs to be thinking. So if you take something out, you're going to bring that thought back. For example, I'm going to stop thinking about, smoking, for example. If you're trying to stop smoking, I'm going to stop thinking about smoking. I'm going to stop thinking about smoking. Your brain only hears smoking. It doesn't hear, I'm going to stop. So what does it do? It keeps thinking on it because it has nothing else to focus on. So if you're overwhelmed and concentrated on how you're going to show up, you're so nervous that oh my God, what if they don't like me and this and that and this and that, you get completely consumed by yourself. Here are my 3 tips to you, regardless of what you're going to do. But for the sake of the example, let's just take a job interview, for example. Number 1, before you go into the job interview, take a lot of time to sit down and plan out the outcome of this interview. So you need to write down everything, best case scenario, what's the outcome of this interview. Now you know what you're aiming for. Now you're not just going in being nervous and focused on not being good enough. You're actually aiming for this. Now your brain has something to focus on. It's got a goal. Remember how I always talk about you need to have a goal in order for you to know where you're going in life? This is that. Then your brain has a goal. Okay, at the end of this interview, this is what I want the outcome to be. So that's the first step. Number 2 step is this. Okay, great. If I want that to be the outcome, how do I want to impact these people? When I walk into the room, what do I want to have? What impact should I have on these people? Like the best case scenario, what would my impact be? I would be imagining that your impact, if you would want to have the interview and want to have the job, your impact would be you walk in there and they're like, oh my God, there's nobody else for this job. We got to take this person. This person would be perfect for this job. So number 2, think about what impact you want to have. And number 3, in order for you to get the outcome that you want and have the impact that you want to have, who do you have to be when you walk through those doors? And it starts not before the interview or the date or whatever, it starts now. You practice that person every single day up until the interview. And if the interview is today, you start just stepping into that person. You go, who do I need to be in order for me to have that and that? This is who I need to be. And then you make yourself so embodied into that character. And I guarantee you, the outcome that you have set for yourself is going to be so much more likely to be pulled off than if you would be going in there like a deer in headlights.